Well, it's time to consider those home improvement projects you've been putting off.
With us right now, interior decorator, Trevor Hill. Talk about some of the new remodeling trends that are out there for you to check out. Welcome back to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is the first time I've ever sat here on the show, so I feel like my arms are really going to flail.
That's okay. We'll just have a lazy Wednesday. I want to start with this, though, because I walked in and I was like, oh, this is gorgeous. This is new.
It is new. So this is a new trend that's really, really popular and gaining a lot of traction. This is a 24 by 48 inch, and a lot of times you would have a 24 by 12, so it'd be more like here, so 2 feet by 1 foot. That was really popular for quite some time and still is, but this exaggerated size of a tile is really, really trending majorly right now. You see it in a lot of places.
So what do you use that for?
You can use it, so I'm using it on a floor in a remodel coming up, and then in a different space that I was working on in Bismarck, we used it for the fireplace. So you can really use it just about anywhere, and actually in the entryway at that house too. So it's funny, the place that I'm putting it in here in Fargo, she has a little smaller footprint for her kitchen, dining room area, and she was saying, I'm going to have like 2 of these in my house because this is so big. Like she's talking about the square footage is so small. But
sometimes that's actually a good thing to put bigger tiles. Sometimes we think if it's a smaller room, we got to put smaller tiles. So it's good to actually try them.
It is, and then you can go you can obviously color match the grout as close as you can to really make it blend in. And I know you mentioned this looks like concrete, and it really does. And they come in multiple different colors. I brought one that was really light and airy. They have one that's practically black that's really gorgeous, one that looks like rust. It's really pretty.
Rust, usually not a word I use as pretty, but yes.
It really, because it looks like an oxidized metal if you put it in an application on a fireplace. So it's a little more on the industrial side for that color.
But I'm sure it'd look good in the right room, in the right setting.
It would.
Okay, what else do you have to show us?
Well, so on the screen here, you can see multiple different tiles. So what I wanted to show here was how there's a lot of high contrast right now. So you'll see a lot of the blacks with the whites. You can see this a lot with, one popular trend is people are painting right now with a lot of lighter colors that are almost white that have just a tinge of color in them. And then from there, high contrast. So you can do a black fireplace or black windows are really popular. Any of that framing, keeping it really, again, that high contrast. So people are, one huge trend is people are really lightening their walls right now. And then having everything else, the art and all of those other features really pop. So you see that a lot.
And that will probably help make it seem like a bigger room too, making it seem more open.
Most definitely. And not just high contrast, also one person I know of, they did the same color in different finishes. So they did a satin and then they did an eggshell and all these different finishes on the wall, the trim. So it was all the same color and it was all white. But you still had, it looked like color variation on the ceiling, the walls, and the trim.
Nice.
So right here you can see that high contrast on the screen with the black wrought iron and then the white walls and then that beautiful wallpaper, which brings me to wallpaper.
I love that wallpaper is making a comeback, especially with some of the new trends out there too.
Look at those and feel those. So one major trend, not just it being wallpaper, but is doing an accent with texture. So you can feel all these have a lot of texture on them. So you can do that with a tile brick. You can do that. I mean, we've seen that forever, obviously. But definitely use texture for your walls. No longer are the one colored wall like, oh, let's do a pink wall or a red wall. That is out. Now you use it with wallpaper or texture.
Christy, you could never do this because you would never leave your house if you had this.
I know. I am a sensory seeker, so I'd just be rubbing my wall all day.
Feel this one.
So when would you add the tile in with a wallpaper? Like in a bathroom?
Yeah. Well, you can actually put it in a. You can do a tile in your dining room, in your kitchen. Obviously, backsplash a lot, but. It's kind of a fine line. That's why you hire a professional. You don't want to overdo the tile because there are people that go a little tile crazy and they just tile all the walls, you know, and then looks a little wacky. But and then also, actually, I know of somebody that is using this tile in their kitchen floor because they have a historic home and they want to have that really historic feel on their floor. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of has
That's
that
nice because it
old,
looks like a real old brick. Is
yeah,
that what you were going to say?
it looks like old brick, but it obviously if it's new, that makes you feel better about it too. I really liked this rippled one, and I kind of like the metallic-y look that it has to it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this one.
It has a lot of
Kinda
sheen behind it.
Yeah.
So I've used different ones with metallic in the back and grass cloth for entertainment walls. You can use them in tons of different ways. We were going to actually tile in a theater wall and instead ended up using wallpaper. Depending on the wallpaper, generally it's more cost effective to do it that way. And obviously you can tell you can get a really unique look that's really customized to you.
I
right
love
there,
this picture. The next picture of this dining area.
Yeah. So this is actually Benjamin Custom Homes there. Area, and what I wanted to show here, but it's funny, it hits on a few parts. You can see they have white walls, they have a textured wall as well, but I wanted to talk about bringing in a little pop of color. So right here you can see the blue picks up from the little art piece, and then you see them in the chairs as well. So that's one nice thing. So when using color, color is coming back. And I don't want to say like in a strong way, but it's definitely coming back where people are, you know, we've done monochromatic for long enough, so people are now bringing in browns, which is another trend in itself, and then bringing in pops of color. So as you can see in the screen, a little bit of blue in the art, and then blue in the chairs as well.
Yeah.
I love those art pieces. I actually have two similar. Those are Jessica Wachter, so one of a kind, but I'm like kind of obsessed with those art pieces.
And we have time for one more trend.
Okay, well, so we went over brown. Here's the high contrast black and white on the wall, but I think we hit all of them. I really wanted to talk about the texture on the walls, brown, pops of color. Let's see, we already talked about this. You guys, I just lost track of my notes.
No, I think it's all good.
If people want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
They can get a hold of me at trevorhilldesign.com, or you can go to, I have Facebook, obviously, Trevor Hill Design on there as well. Or you can email me, trevorhilldesign@gmail.com.
I love this high contrast one. This tile is beautiful.
I do love that. And tile, they're obviously getting really creative with tile these days. So you can have a lot of fun in your bathrooms, bedrooms. Actually, I've seen tiled walls in bedrooms.
You can tile, as he said,
can
any
tile
room
anything.
you want, just not all the walls in your bedroom. But that's why you call Trevor and you get help. Because then you can kind of hone in all of your ideas and make it look beautiful.
Good stuff, man. Thank you very much. Again, there's his website there, his phone number, and stick around. Much more coming up right after this.